This kid is an absolute beast. While other kids his age are still playing in the dirt, he's already got 3 girlfriends, and one of them is even a gorgeous older elf. Usually, even when he's just studying, girls are fighting over him. When he finally has some free time for a date, he gets dragged off by the captain for sword practice to bond. The protagonist finally had enough of this exhausting life, so he changed his clothes and headed to the Adventurers Guild. It turns out today is his 12th birthday, which is also the minimum age to register as an adventurer. After completing the registration process, our lead finally got his wish, and officially became an adventurer. Though his starting rank is just chi gathering, he doesn't really mind. However, just as the receptionist was encouraging him, 3 thugs unexpectedly showed up to pick a fight. This cliché routine left our protagonist completely speechless. The big guy in charge tried to strike first, but he ended up tripping himself with a clumsy kick. His 2 lackeys were furious seeing this, but unfortunately they were no match for our protagonist. Just as the big guy was about to play dirty and draw his sword, a cool-looking red-haired guy suddenly stepped in. Recognizing who he was, the big guy quickly scrambled away with his 2 cronies. After thanking him, the red-haired guy suggested they grab a drink. As he noticed that the kid's moves were actually quite legit, he didn't refuse, seeing that the man was an A-rank adventurer. The protagonist was incredibly impressed. The red-haired guy said it was no big deal, because there are still S-rank and SS rank above him. Just as the 2 were hitting it off, the redhead's wife suddenly showed up. Since they still had a mission to complete, they had to bid him farewell. Our protagonist was also planning to pick up a quest, and right then, he spotted a goblin extermination quest tucked away in the corner. The reward was uncapped, depending entirely on the number of kills. This was music to his ears. But before he could even take a few steps, the commander suddenly came charging toward him and pulled him into a massive hug. Upon hearing that our hero was heading out on a quest, the commander instantly dumped all her work on the vice commander. After all, in her eyes, her hubby comes before anything else. Saying this, our hero tried to bolt, but she snatched him right up and dragged him straight to the forest for the quest. Then, using detection magic, he quickly pinpointed the goblin's location. But when they arrived on the scene, they found injured villagers there, so they split the tasks accordingly. Our hero focused on healing while the commander spearheaded the attack. In the blink of an eye, 3 goblins were already history. Just as the commander thought the battle was over, little did she know, a massive horde of goblins appeared ahead. Saying this, our hero instantly transformed into a god-tier support, casting some incredibly odd buffs on the commander.
Dana, 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 dana. Imani, he wished Dana-sama to stay strong. Finish. Yeah. Made a sucker move. Wait. What are you doing? Come in,
However, after eliminating the goblins, unexpectedly a massive swarm of lizard monsters appeared before him. Our MC had no choice but to have the commander evacuate the wounded first while he took charge of covering the retreat. In the blink of an eye, a massive iceberg rose up behind them, a spectacle that scared the living daylights out of the villagers. Before long, our hero made his way back to the guild, but when they heard he had soloed 30 lizard monsters, the guild girl was left utterly gobsmacked. After all, a feat of this difficulty is usually reserved for C-rank adventurers. So she reported the matter to the guildmaster's assistant, but to her surprise, the man flew into a total rage. Not only did he flat out accuse our Nisi of cheating, he even tried to confiscate his adventurer's ID card. Hearing this, our hero's heart sank, but luckily, the guildmaster stepped in just in time. After getting the full picture of what happened, the master recognized our MC's true identity instantly. Instead of exposing him right away, he invited the lady at the door to come in. Upon realizing this kid wasn't just the hero who saved the princess, but also the fiancé of the kingdom's strongest knight commander, the assistant immediately dropped to his knees, breaking into a cold sweat. Luckily, our MC didn't hold a grudge. To keep things simple, the master offered to immediately promote his rank to C-class. However, the commander thought that was far from enough. After all, her husband had already 2.5 years ago slain a calamity-class red dragon, not to mention his strength far exceeds even her own. Hearing this, the guild girl and the assistant were instantly petrified. After all, this confirms that our MC is already the strongest in the kingdom. Hearing this, the guild master decided to promote him directly to a rank. This would make it easier for the guild to assign him specific quests later on. Naturally, our boy wasn't about to say no, so the staff and the barmaid rushed off to handle the paperwork. Meanwhile, this entire scene was being watched by the 7 gods. The god of magic felt that the boy's power was frankly ridiculous, but the creator god argued that he needed to get even stronger, because the seal on the evil god Aragon was on the verge of breaking. This revelation immediately sent shockwaves through the heavens. It meant the world was about to face a major crisis once again. So the gods proposed finding him a mentor. As it happens, as a perfect candidate just idling away at home. Our protagonist, however, was blissfully unaware of all this, because he was too busy geeking out over his brand new gold car.
The next day,
The two ladies thought they'd finally get some alone time for a date, but